My mother, Roberta, would often say, "It's about time." She was so crazy about time that our neighbors referred to her as a cuckoo clock. That didn't bother her. She still taught us to value our time. Time like a bird flies. No matter how much time you have, it must be spent wisely. She'd peck at us. Time is the currency of life, and it cannot be refunded. Living in upstate New York, she got us up with the chickens to milk the cows. We would complain, and she warned us that grousing was a waste of time. She inspired us to bevy our thoughts lest we live in the bondage of time. This poem, entitled Doing Time, is applied from a story a little birdie told her and written by a yet to be recognized bird brain, entitled Doing Time. The prisoner sat alone in thought of his vacated cell, begging his God to end his time of solitary hell. Oh, such a waste to have cut off his days known as his prime. The act was but a fleeting thought, so small, a human crime. He yearned to know his freedom, the sunshine and the flowers, and have someone to be with to while away the hours. But there was now no hope in sight. His life was all but through, when there upon the window pane a gentle sparrow flew. "Ah, little friend," he said now, "and I envy your life so, to choose each day with freedom the way your life will go." Well, the sparrow stared so blankly there, still perched upon the ledge, his fearful eyeing of the feline still hid beneath the hedge. "Ah," said the sparrow then in fear, his voice so full of grief, "I may as well be just like you, or bonded as a thief, for though I am considered good and not committed crime, you and I, we in our own way live in thoughts of bondage, doing time." It basically reminds us how our thoughts define our life. My mother felt that the time we spent complaining or off on a lark could be used doing something more constructive, like our cousin Davella was doing in Australia. Davella was very involved with environmental issues. She saw how companies were goosing up their profits by treating people in her community like stool pigeons, and then watching them eat crow. A song by Tom Lear inspired her speaking perch of awareness and chirps volumes. It is entitled Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, referencing consumers as sacrificial fodder in exchange for profits. Meanwhile, back on the farm, my mother would bird dog opportunities for us to leverage our efforts and avoid procrastination. "Just do it," was her bird call. To her, a bird in the hand was worth two in the bush. We learned how to save time using Google Maps, to take shortcuts, and jaywalk. My mother encouraged us to leave a legacy that went beyond the egalitarian strides that had been made so far. She insisted circumstances must never interfere with the bird's eye view or the vision you were about to deliver. She also warned us that there would be so many distractions to take us off course because If the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. In time, we children migrated from our home. As you know, my parents became empty nesters. My mother was wise above her years and not wanting to henpeck my father, decided to get back into the pharmacy field. She was the night owl on duty. The night shift was especially rewarding to her because, people would have such fly-by-night problems. You'd think at night it would be like stomach aches and flu symptoms and headaches and earaches and so forth, but some people just don't give a hoot about their health. She would write songs about her experiences. One of them went like this. I work all night in a drugstore that is just outside of Niagara. Patients suffering stomach acid needs buffering, but the urgency is for Viagra. That was such a disappointment in many cases, but she did her best as much as possible in the middle of the night for these type of people. Our well-being is aviated in our mind by what we do, our physical state, our story, and how we strategize determine our destiny. Today, each time I see a bird, I'm inspired by the life and wisdom of my mother. The sound of music from birds brought her such joy each day. I am reminded circumstances must never interfere with the vision and destiny only you were brought here to deliver. Now, I ask you all, as my fine feathered friends, how is your vision of doing time, your destiny becoming a reality? Is your time of bondage or of a destiny, a reality that you want to see? From sea to shining with what you see. Yes.